Hey everyone, I'm Justin with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a closer look at and installing the Red Rock OE style fender flares available for the 2010 through 2018 Ram 2500. Now the Red Rock OEM style flares here will be a great choice for the truck owners looking to add a very subtle factory style flare, but without emptying your wallet. Now this set of 4 flares will feature a durable automotive grade matte black plastic, along with all of the hardware and everything needed for the install for right around that low $200 price point for all 4. So if you're thinking about adding flares to your 2500, you'll find a few different options here on the site, a majority of which, let's face it guys, are gonna be very aggressive. They typically offer a ton of coverage off of the fender for an aggressive offset wheel, and in most cases are gonna offer kind of that bolt-on appearance. And while both of those options certainly appeal to a fair amount of truck owners out there, there are some HD owners on the other hand that might just prefer more of a subtle flare and add a little bit of color contrast at the same time. And if that does sound like the case, or if that does sound like you, then you'll certainly want to give the Red Rock options that we have here today a little closer look. Now don't get me wrong, there are still some coverage benefits when installing the Red Rock OE style options here. We're talking about maybe an extra inch or so off of the fender, but that's pretty much it. Nowhere near the 3 inches or more other pocket style flares will deliver. Now, another big thing I do like about these particular options from Red Rock is the fact that they're nice and smooth, and that's really where that OE style comes into play here. You'll notice these don't include or incorporate any of those fake bolts or rivets. And again, that's where these things really are going to appeal to the less is more truck owners out there. Now, on the other hand, if you have that wild offset going and you really need a bunch of coverage for whatever reason, then those pocket flares will certainly be the better bet at the end of the day. But again, if you have a flush setup, maybe even a little bit of poke, and you just want something subtle on there, these are certainly gonna be a great and very affordable option. Now moving into construction guys, and these particular options from Red Rock will feature an automotive grade polypropylene or plastic build, certainly going to be equal parts durable and lightweight. Now that material does have a UV coating kind of baked in to help prevent any fading over the years, but you should note too guys that even if you didn't want to go with that color contrast of the black, you can paint these on your own if you'd like, thanks in part to that very smooth finish. A lot of other OE style flares on the site might give you that kind of stippled grain texture, which looks good, looks like factory plastic, not always easy to paint. These, not the case, gonna be very smooth, very easy to prep, prime, and paint if you want to. A lot of guys might just prefer that color contrast, which is totally cool as well. Now the Red Rock kit does include all 4 flares. I know I only have 2 on the table with me today due to size constraints, but they also do include all of the hardware needed to get everything in place on your HD. Moving into price point here guys, which could easily be another feature with the Red Rock flares. That's because these are gonna come in right around that low $200 price point for all 4, making them easily one of the most affordable on the site for your HD at the time of this video. Now, especially when you start comparing these to some of your other flare options in the category from Rough Country, Bushwhacker, and even those more aggressive pocket style flares, those can cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars more than the Red Rock options that we have here today. Last but not least, let's segue into our installation portion of today's video, guys. Site's gonna call this one a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 2 hours or so to complete from start to finish. Now, to give you a better idea of just how this one might go down at home, let's throw it out to the shop for our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
For this install, you need a ratchet, an 8mm socket, and a flathead and Phillips head screwdriver. All right, today we're gonna be installing some fender flares on our Ram 2500, so let's get started. All right, first thing we need to do on the front to install our fender flare is we need to remove all of our 8mm screws. There's 2 here, 2 here, and then we also have to remove our mud flap, which is held on with 2 more. So we're gonna start here and work our way backwards. All right, so we're gonna grab our ratchet and 8mm socket and take them out. All right, now when it comes to our mud flap, we just have a spring clip here. So we're gonna grab a flathead screwdriver and you just push that off. And then we also have 2 more 8mm bolts. There's also a hole on the inside of the mud flap right here. You may have another fastener, ours is missing, so it may be another 8mm fastener. All right, now on the top of the wheel arch, we just have to put 1 clip in. You'll see this larger oval here. So we have our protective cover, so it's just double-sided tape. So we're gonna put that over the hole just to protect the paint. And then you can put your clip over. You can even grab your Phillips head screwdriver just to poke through, just to make sure you find the hole. And then now we can install our fender flare. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our fender flare lined up and start all of our screws with our supplied Phillips head screws into all of the locations. To just double check to make sure you have the right one, you will see it is labeled. This one says FL for front left. Just get the wheel liner lined up with the factory clip and then just start by hand. Starting at the front, just work your way back. All right, so now we're gonna go through and tighten everything starting from the front, working our way back. What I'm using is I'm using a ratchet with a Phillips head socket on it. You can just use a Phillips head screwdriver just by turning the wheel. This just makes it a little bit easier and faster. All right, now you can repeat the same thing for the other side. All right, now moving on to the rear, we have to remove some fasteners, also our mud flap. So we have 1, 2, 3 we're gonna remove here in the rear, and then our front, it's gonna be this bottom one, and then the next one. Also, we have a missing fastener on this mud flap also. But we're gonna grab our ratchet, 8mm socket, take these out. All right, now we're just gonna remove all of our other factory screws besides one. This one here will not be removed. All right, now we just have our 1 clip that we need to put on. It's going to go right here. Just like the front, we have our double-sided tape to protect our paint. So we're gonna put that over. And then put our clip over. And then now we can put our fender flare on. All right, now we're ready to install our fender flare. You will see that this one is labeled back left. So that's one that we're gonna put on. So we're gonna put our fender flare up and then we will install it with our supplied screws. Just a side note, because there is a couple extra slots and not enough screws, you can reuse the factory screws, which we will use in separate locations, or you can even put them back in all the locations. It really doesn't matter, whatever is easier for you. So we're just gonna get it lined up and we're gonna start our screw from the front, working our way back. All right, once you get to this top one here, this is the new clip that you did install, so this does need to be a new Phillips head screw. All right, now we can go back through and tighten everything, starting from the front, working our way backwards, using a combination of our Phillips head screwdriver bit or Phillips head screwdriver and our 8mm socket. All right, now we're just gonna go ahead and tighten our fender flare, starting at our back and working our way forward, using a combination of our 8mm socket and either our Phillips head screwdriver or our Phillips head bit. All right, now you should repeat those same steps for the other side. All right, and that wraps up for install of our Red Rock OE style fender flares for our 2010 to 2018 Ram 2500. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.